A lot of people come to Nigeria and it's doing very well. And a good example is that for the Mexicans, a lot of foreigners, when they come to Nigeria, either as ambassadors or they're here for a term, when their time is finished and they serve the term for the office, they refuse to go back home. They stay here and they decide to do business and partner with Nigerians. That has been the history of a Nigerian business environment. The former speaker spoke about entertainment, tourism. This is very, very successful. I don't think you watch our movies in Mexico, but I think the more we collaborate, we'll see that we show them there. But everywhere you go in Africa, they're very familiar with our pidgin English. How now, with team, how you did, things like that, Because people who haven't been here know our culture. So we find that our Nollywood is the third largest in the world today. Our music also is excellent. It's exported organically outside Nigeria, and many people know Nigerian music. So we're very proud of it. We're happy about our business tourism, which this forum will strengthen. Religious tourism is also very good. Sports tourism is quite good. Conference tourism, this is a conference. So Abuja actually is very good for conference tourism. So we're doing quite well in conference tourism. We have cultural tourism, which is actually excellent in Nigeria, but Nigerians ourselves, we're still trying to sell it to ourselves. But I have been attending every festival that I can lay my hands on the invitation to know what our festivals are all about. We have medical, education, eco, and agro-tourism, which are quite promising and doing well. Well, the earlier speakers already gave you these facts, which means that our contribution to the GDP, we've already mentioned that, is just slightly under 5% as at 2015. We are the largest and fastest growing economy in Africa. I think these are similar figures to what the lady from NIPC also gave, so it's consistent. We are also the largest population in Africa. 1 in every 7 black men is a Nigerian out there. If you meet any black person, just ask them if he's Nigerian. You'll find out that he's Nigerian. We traveled, we're very well traveled. Can you imagine our population? We're over 170 million people. Imagine that you can sell your product to over 170 million people. That's a huge market. This is a real situation because a company like MTN, telephones, Nigerian telephones, one of the biggest telco companies in Nigeria is called MTN. This company, if you go to South Africa, nobody hears of them. They're very small in South Africa. They came to Nigeria, and within 10 years, they've taken over the market. They're so huge, and they're making incredible profit, and they're very happy here. So that's really, what the population is about, because you're selling to masses. Your turnover is high when you do business in Nigeria. Of course, we have the best weather, sunshine all the time, and we have the happiest people in the world. No matter what happens, Nigerians are always smiling. We're also the most friendly and we're the warm people that you can ever find in Africa. So make sure you come back here again. We have over 250. We have over 250 ethnic groups. Ethnic groups, we speak so many different languages, but we're united in diversity. And I am here today and I'm relevant to this forum because the government, our president, is interested in moving Nigeria from total dependence on oil revenue. We were dwelling in the oil boom, and we are spoiled children of God because God blessed us with so much. First He gave us oil, so nobody really thought about tourism because we're dwelling in oil. But now with the crash in the oil price, I think it's time for people to listen about tourism. Not just tourism, agriculture also. The president is focusing on agriculture and in manufacturing. And these are sectors that are labor intensive. And that is how the SME, which Nexim Bank talked about, the SMEs, the retail, and the grassroots can grow if we invest. I'm going to be showing you pictures, so just so you know parts of Nigeria. On the far right there, on the far left, we have the northwest, and then next to it, where we are today, you can see Abuja there, the purple one. That's where we are. That is the north-central part of Nigeria, and the upper part is the northwest. And on the right, we have the northeast. And when you talk about geography of Nigeria, when you talk about security, which the lady who spoke with NIPC mentioned, you will find that where we have the problem is very small. Nigeria is over 972 square kilometers of land space. It's huge. And the place where we're having issue is just up here, just up there. Very little. You can see where we are. We're right here. There is where we have security issues. So it's very small and it's very far away geographically. So there is no danger. We're very safe in Abuja, and it's a very small aspect of that. And on the yellow part is the southwestern part. That's where Lagos is. You can see it there. And the green part is the south-south. That's where the oil, most of the oil is there. I'm from there. And then you have the southeast, which is the eastern part of Nigeria. These are some of our tourist attractions. We have Mambila Plateau. This is in the north of Nigeria. I'll show you pictures, so I'll just run through. Minjibir is in Kano. It's fantastic. It's a tourist resort, also a business center. It's quite amazing. Kano is one of the fastest growing cities in Nigeria, apart from Abuja. Then we have this in the southern part, Obudu Ranch. We have La Campagna Tropicana. That's also very beautiful. It's in Lagos State. We have the slave route. If you want to have an experience, for example, we have signed MOU with Gambian Tourism Board, Cote d'Ivoire Tourism Board, and we're also in collaboration with Ghana, Sierra Leone, and all those on the ECOWAS route. And what we are trying to do is so that if a tourist comes to Africa, you can conclude your journey in Nigeria, because we are the largest African province. So that the tourism experience, for example, on the slave route, you can have the Ghana story, Sierra Leone story, and they come to Nigeria to crown the journey. So that is what that slave route is all about. We have it in different states. Calabar is in the south, Badagry is in Lagos, and Port Harcourt is in the south-south. Then closer home here, we have Zuma Rock. Zuma Rock is just next door here. For those of you who are going to stay here a few more days, it's just a drive, not too far from Abuja. You'd really enjoy it, and I hope we can plan a trip for you at the end of this. This is also Ushafa Poultry Village. It was opened by Clinton, President Clinton, when he came to Abuja. These are other tourist attractions. The Shaka Gumti, Yankari Game Reserve. The lady from NIPC and the gentleman, that's where they come from. Here. Right there. It's beautiful game reserve, and they're both from there. And they were saying to me on the table, I hope you put our, I said it's definitely there. We can't have a presentation without talking about our game reserve. So that's from, we have two people on the high table from there. We have Lake Chad Basins, which is in Borno and Yobe State. Kainji Lake, Kamuku, which is in Kaduna. Kaduna is also fantastic. It's just an hour away from Abuja. You can drive down there. We have a sports tourism there. You'll see the pictures later. We have Cross Rivers. We have Okomo and the Old Oyo. I've been to all these places, by the way. I would not show you somewhere I've not been, because I came from banking and I really wanted to understand the job, so I traveled around the whole country. This is a map of all our national parks, and you can see Yankari, where it is over there. So just so you know where the locations are. Then we have developed what you call a tourism map. We actually have the original here. I don't know if it's very clear, but this map tells you where the lakes are, where the waterfalls are, where the mountains are, and the geographical space of everything. It's a bit tiny, but we have the original here later. This tells you the glossary of everything, rivers and lakes and everything. It's all shown there, so if you want to see it after the presentation, we can give you a better viewing of that. So what are the investment opportunities in our tourism sector? We have here, we'll start with Abuja. This is Abuja. I'm sure you're going to make visits to the National Mosque. You can see the view. This is a beautiful view. We would love you to consider investment in tourism in this regard. We need things like public toilets. And what is really important to us is that when you invest in any tourism asset, you can brand. We'll put the company name there and your country name, so that anybody who goes to that tourism site will know that Mexico contributed to the beauty of Nigerian tourism. So that's why we say investor branded. Then we have Katsina. This is the state of our president, where he comes from. This is a very famous well. That well is over 600 years old. These are monuments. And they're very good for Durbans, the horse festivals. It's fantastic. We also have in Kano. Then we have, this is a World Heritage Site. We have 2 World Heritage Sites in Nigeria, and this is one of them. This is in Adamawa State. I have been there. It is just incredibly beautiful. And the sort of investment we would appreciate here is hotels. You can invest in hotels and public toilets. These are things that don't exist very much here. Then we have our Congo Fishing Festival. This is a fantastic fishing festival. You can see the calabashes, the fish and the throw into the round. That's very traditional. It's really very beautiful. And what we do is that we have put up a domestic tourism travel calendar for people like you. So when you're coming for visits, your next visit to Nigeria, you plan it around a festival. So we have festivals a month of the year where they are. You know where you're going. So these are things we need there. Hotels, mini mall, and public toilets. This is Kano State. I've also been here. They also have incredible durbers. And these are things that we need, investment. Sorry, there's an error there. Hotels, motorized water sports, textile industry. Nigerians are very fashionable people. I'm sure you can see all the ladies, very beautiful. This is the most beautiful table, I think. All the gorgeous women are. Maybe you'll check them out after the event. And textile is very buoyant in Nigeria, but it's not as developed as it should be. So we would welcome investment in our textile industry. Then Taraba, that's me there. I've been everywhere. We didn't have time to put all the pictures together, but we have just 15 minutes. Mambila Plateau is exquisite. The view is just incredible. But we would need cable cars, investment, hotels around there, and you can invest in a ranch. For those of you who know about cattle ranch, and you can also invest in having a dairy farm there. But this is a breathtaking view, and that's me there traveling from Taraba to Benue on the boat with a car on the boat. This is just to tell you that Nigeria is very safe. I go everywhere. Nothing to fear. Yankari, that's their home. See the park. Sir Tafawa Balewa was the first Prime Minister of Nigeria, the one on the left. And we would need for investment there cable cars to take people from mountain to mountain to see the animals, safari vehicles, and hotels. Then Plateau State is another state. Camp facilities, garden seats, public toilets, and perhaps a rail transport. For this, you would need to partner with the transport department. And we're almost finished. This is Zuma Rock. You see what we need there. This is Niger State. We need hotels and public toilets. And this is Kaduna State. I've been there. You can see me at the bottom. It's really fantastic. They play polo there every year. Foreigners come from all over the world. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's about 3,000 hectares of land. It's really nice. This is Kogi State. This was one of the capitals of Nigeria. Just like Abuja is a capital today, Kogi was a capital. So it has a very strong historic legacy. Hotels, we need hotels there. We need to preserve the monuments. And we need a theme park, amongst other things. This is Nasarawa State. The thing at the bottom would need them to be expanded. This is one of our most famous tourism resorts. It's in Calabar. And investment there will need an airstrip and cable cars and hotels. There's a hotel there run by Protea, but it's so popular that we need more hotels. So if you're interested in investing in hotels, it would be really good for us. We'll be happy to invite you. This is Bayelsa. This is the first oil well in Nigeria at the bottom. It would be nice if Mexico could brand it, make it a beautiful edifice for people to see that this is the first place where oil was struck in Nigeria. So we'd love you to be involved in investment there. This is also Tinapa. This is where Nollywood. This is a very big investment. We don't have, these pictures don't really give credibility. It looks much nicer than this. But I went there at night and we rushed. Our pictures are not here. But we need investment. A fashion school could be here. Put up a fashion school, a maritime school as well.
Sorry.
And this is our fashion. This is our fashion from Fulani. These are the northern beauty. And we have beautiful ladies in Nigeria. In case some of you are not married, you can go home with a bride. And your children will look like me. Okay, so you already know what it's going to look like. Then, this is part of our fashion from the Igbo people. Igbo, that's where I come from. Benin, Yoruba there. And you already saw, this is Fulani from the north. Those are how the young ladies dress. And this is also another part of Nigeria. This is the east, from where I come from, that area. We have beautiful lakes. I've been to this river as well. Well, what happened to it? It's not there. We need camping sites and everything. Edo State. This is Osho Oshogo. You can see at the bottom, I've been there. This is also another World Heritage Site. It's been certified by UNESCO. It's fantastic. It's a fertility festival. It's very, very popular. And there I am down there. This is Lagos. That's the slave town, and that's one of their festivals. We need a boat hotel, upgrade the slavery experience, water transport, and cruise boats. We have a lot of water in Nigeria, especially Lagos. It has loads and loads of beaches. This is Osun State. That is the current king. He is the spiritual leader, the source of power for the Yoruba people in Nigeria. The Osun State king. He's known as the Oni of Ife. And that's his wife. He also just got married, so I went to pay a courtesy visit. And these are things they have around them. They would need access roads, hotels, and amusement parks to complement what they have. This is the east, where I also come from. You can see, look at how beautiful, look at the bottom left. That is our home waterfalls. They would like hotels, a theme park, and beach resort. And that's me in the cave with the tourism commissioners. I went there to see all these beautiful things. And this is Abia State. That is this river, and I went there to witness it. You can see me in the canoe there. This is also a war museum. It's really beautiful. We did have a war in the 60s, and this is the preservation of that. And young children always go there, and I'm there with them as well. So I've been to all these places. But these are history. You can fly direct to Enugu. There are flights that will take you there. It's finished. And these are some of the things that we need, which I've mentioned already. Public toilets. I don't think I need to talk so much here because the lady from NITC has touched all that, right? Oh, I thought I'm repeating it. Okay, sorry. We need a casino. You can invest in casino right here. Yeah, because we don't have public toilets in any of the tourism sites. It would be a very big investment. Something big. You have a maximum duty on casinos, amusement parks, and theme parks. And like I mentioned earlier, we used to have what you call the expatriate quota, which was very difficult for expatriates, for foreigners to do business. Now it's very easy. Thanks to my colleagues here who've done that. They just give you a work permit. It's very easy. So you just get a work permit. It's much easier to renew than what you had there. We also have tax holidays. For example, if you're going to invest in a hotel in Nigeria, research material on that, we give you 120% tax holiday for the first 5 years. And the next 5 years, you get 50% of that tax holiday. So there are quite a lot of things. We continue. The government is very dynamic, and the supporting system, the people, those of us who are the DGs and the ministers, are very dynamic and ready to welcome investors into Nigeria. And I'll just say in conclusion that the Nigerian current administration, which is our president, is focused on diversifying Nigeria's economy, and our mandate at the NTDC is to create an enabling environment, promote domestic tourism, because domestic tourism will bring us all together. If I leave the south, go to the north, leave the north, go to the east, I will understand the culture of fellow Nigerians, and then there will be peace in Nigeria and will be much, much more unified. And promote domestic tourism and fast-track investment incentives that will propel growth in the tourism industry to make Nigeria Africa's foremost tourism destination. We have a domestic tourism market estimated at $4 billion US, having seen our domestic tourism, our tourism arrivals. And we say welcome to you all from Mexico, and we're ready to welcome you to our business environment. Thank you very much.